about 2 months ago, God kept telling me that He doesn't want me to develop spiritual apathy. Okay, now God is so perfect in all of His ways, right? So He revealed this to me 2 months ago. Okay, so 2 months ago is right when I would say I felt like a whirlwind had hit me. And when I say that, it's because when I've been doing these lives and I've been exposing different people, I'm gonna be honest with y'all and tell y'all a lot of those people I really was riding for. I was really riding for them. Those people that I expose as witches, I actually really love them.
So let's break this segment down. First, she said 2 months ago, God told her about spiritual apathy. So why didn't God heal you then? He is a healer. Hello? He's a healer of our soul, the keeper of our soul. So you saying God didn't keep you? How you love them when you wish death on them and you made a whole video about 20 witches about their downfall and how they was going to die. You such a hypocrite. Y'all don't see this buffoonery?
Still do. But I want to say I was really riding for them. So imagine, right? God telling you that He is going to blind you spiritually, but you don't really know how He's going to blind you. And then you find out people that you actually love and you think are going to do ministry with you, are really in your corner and they really witches.
She's talking about how she had a dream that tape was over her eyes. God had never blinded you. God would never blind one of His kids and send you unequipped inside a spiritual warfare. Just admit, you fraud, that you were the one that blinded yourself because you thought you can help everybody and you feel like being God in everybody's life. So since you got all the knowledge and revelation, God was like, okay, go ahead. I'm going to let you make a fool of yourself for a little bit so I can show you who really is in control, not you. Because remember, Genesis, y'all see in all her videos is always I like Marcus Rogers. I think she's an offspring of him. That's what I believe. She's an offspring of Marcus Rogers. Y'all, this is the Chicago. Her and Marcus Rogers in Chicago. This is what y'all got to be shepherd over y'all. Her and Marcus Rogers. And that's why that city going through stuff because ain't no real deliverance going on up there. I want people on my channel to understand this wisdom. When we go through these many these wildernesses prepare us for the end time. And the biggest wilderness is the tribulation that we about to face with the Antichrist. She is a perfect example of somebody that don't want to stay in the wilderness. And look how those witches came after her. Lack of wisdom. Genesis, the Holy Spirit has 7 attributes. And wisdom is one. And you're sure not exemplifying that on your channel at all. You're making up excuses. And then you got the nerve to blame it on God. So God spiritually blinded you so you and your family can go through all that hell with them witches and warlocks. No, I think it was just witches. You ain't ready for them sorcerers or wizards or none of them. Girl, just admit that you got spiritually blind because you got so prideful in your calling. Well, I don't even want to say calling. You got so prideful on your ministry. Maybe God did that way, but He didn't spiritually blind you. You blinded yourself. I have never in my life heard such debauchery until I heard her say this and blame it on God.
And they sent to kill you, destroy you. I don't think that's going to feel good for anybody. Let's just be honest. Okay, so when I started getting this deeper revelation, I almost couldn't even believe it. Seriously, I didn't even want to believe it. And then they're going through so much since I have done ministry. Okay, so God was telling me something today. He said to me, he said, this is why you need a husband. He was like, because he said women are very emotional. And he said that the task that I have for you, you can't carry by yourself.
So basically, she's admitting that it was overwhelming for her in the spiritual realm because she wasn't equipped. Now, don't forget, that's what she said. God blinded her, put blinders over her eyes, and put her in the witch's den. Now she's saying that God said that this task is too big for you and the women are weaker and she need help. Genesis, let me tell you a testimony. I knew a lady, she waited for 20 years and did what God told her to do in her calling until God brought her husband. Her testimony is online. I'm about to post it on my side. I'm about to show how big of a fraud you are. Just admit that you don't know how to handle what you thought that you knew how to handle. Listen in between the lines, you guys. She is admitting that she don't know how to handle what she claims she thought. I'm a pastor. Well, girl, they tearing your butt up real good. They had you on here acting crazy, speaking in tongues, and then hanging up the phone after you done. Girl,
you need a spouse. Okay? So that's what God told me. That's what he reminded me of today. All right? And so I began to develop spiritual apathy. I began to develop spiritual apathy. That's what this is. So I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm about to blow y'all mind. For some of y'all, God revealed to me, I was about to correct somebody, but I'm not. So God revealed to me that, I just lost my train of thought. Oh.
Y'all see how she was just about to abuse somebody with her viper tongue? Y'all saw how she was hitting on the desk like ready to just chomp down on the feelings, tear somebody's feelings up with her abusive self? She's an abuser. How you got a deliverance when you the one need deliverance from y'all, your angry demon? You are lacking self-control, Genesis. This is why I do videos, so y'all can see for yourselves. A shepherd with no self-control. Wow.
Okay, I know where I was going. He said I have a negative mindset about ministry.
Thank you for telling on yourself. You do have a negative mind about ministry. You don't really care about God's people. All you want to do is sit right there behind your phone and abuse and talk to them any kind of way. Yeah, that's your real clap back. Talking about you rebuking people. You're not rebuking people. You clapping back on them. You abusing them and tearing them down.
Based off of everything that I've endured. So I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. God told me, he said, you have a negative mindset about ministry because of everything that you've gone through. I'm going to say it one more time so y'all can hear me loud and clear. God revealed to me that I have a negative mindset about doing ministry. It has caused me to clap back. It has caused me to have unrighteous anger.
It's causing you to clap back and have unrighteous anger. No, you just got anger because you have anger. And now you trying to blame it on your followers. First, you was blaming it on God that he spiritually blinded you and put you in the den with those witches for those witches to abuse you and your family. And now you're saying your followers are the reason why you having anger issues and clapping back. You are something else, girl. You are something else.
Okay, and so this is what happens. Jasmine, I really want you to stop trying to agree with me. Just please, just stop. All right. And
y'all see she had a release what she really wanted to release on Jasmine. Now the other girl, she didn't release it because she really was going to go in and, you know, she's put on the act today. So she took her anger out on Jasmine because Jasmine agreed with her. Girl, she just agreeing with you. You act like she said something disrespectful. She's trying to control y'all under her channel, how she talked you big old fat Jezebel. And I'm not talking about your weight. I'm talking about how fat that spirit is inside of you that you don't see.
Okay. Now, I've been doing ministry for 2 years, but it feels like I've been doing ministry for 60.
Genesis, do you really want a cookie because you've been doing it for 2 years? Is that something to brag about? Actually, you just made yourself look stupid. You want to know why you made yourself look foolish? If you've been only doing ministry for 2 years, you're admitting that you have never sat through the pruning process or went through any wilderness for God to sit and train you.
Okay, and I'm just going to be very honest with y'all. The level of warfare that I've had to endure is actually, I could actually cry. Seriously, and I'm not being phony, but it's been very difficult.
You are being phony. Guess what? I'm going to tell you a secret, Genesis. The Lord has showed me somebody that you really think that's really under you right now. As a matter of fact, it was 2 of them that the Lord has showed me. I'm not going to mention who they are. Those people are sent on assignment too. Still, checkmate. And it's sad because I was actually praying for you and I saw this in the spiritual realm and he showed me this. But you will find out in the future, like I had tried to tell Ashton on TikTok about this girl swore up and down she act like she was so holy. I was like, nah, she a witch. He didn't believe me. He didn't believe me until his whole thing got shut down. God prophesied it to me. God had prophesied it to me, everything that was going to happen to that guy, and it happened to him. Them witches and warlocks made a fool of him. They took his picture, and that man around for a second, like he lost his mind. But I am going to tell you something, Miss Janice Porter. That's what God had me to pray for in the background. One of my prayers for you was, Lord, keep her mind. Don't let those witches take her mind. How I watch. They did that to that guy named Ashton on TikTok. And That was sad. Now he don't do deliverance anymore because he had pride just like you. And he didn't take heed to my warning when God had showed me and somebody else on TikTok. Even though that he rejected me and was talking trash about me on TikTok, God told me to still stay over his life and pray against all those curses that those witches was doing. I was praying against it. And then when me and another sister in Christ was praying against their tactics was like weakening, and then he would end his live. So one day I came back on his live to try to tell him he didn't believe me and block me. So I was like, okay, Lord, God told me to still pray for him like God telling me with you after you block me. Still pray for you because I see this in the spiritual realm. I'm not going to tell you who these people are I'm not going to tell you who they are, Genesis. I have seen it and I can see past things because I'm a seer. I'm not going to tell you what I saw. I tried to warn Ashton the same way, and you so prideful, you will end up just like him. I'm looking at you on your channel, how them witches got you going crazy. Them witches had you around her taking 2 weeks break, taking breaks. God, people, we don't take breaks. The only time we take breaks is go in the wilderness and get stronger. We don't take breaks because it's too much. These witches getting on our nerves. That means you're weak. You're weak and you trying to pretend like you so strong. That outside stuff, that stuff that bullying stuff that you be doing on your channel, it's just a shell to who you really are. And guess what? God is showing you in your walk. God is showing you in your ministry how weak you are. You claim you so big and bad in the spiritual realm. Yeah, we'll see. God has showed me oh my God. God has showed me some people still ain't right. But you sure will find out in the future though. All right, let's continue on the video.
So a couple of weeks ago, there was a gentleman that I brought back onto Discord, okay? And God started talking to me specifically about this person. I actually extended I offered to help this person move. I offered to give this money help when it came to moving. I've offered to help this person.
And that's your mistake right there. That's how they know your weakness. That's why I made a video about you, how them witches know your weakness, Genesis. The Bible tells us to guard our heart. When you in the ministry, you supposed to guard your heart at all times. I don't care if you got people been by your side for 20 years. You still keep your eye out on them because people could change up on you.
In many ways, praying for them for 30 days. And then God told me this person in particular, him and his wife were planning to... they targeted me when it came to doing ministry. I don't really think people understand my gifting is I don't want to put myself on a pedestal, but I'm so prophetic. Like God reveals people's thoughts to me. That don't feel right.
Yeah, you are right about that. God does expose people. The Bible says that there's nothing hidden from God. So if you think that you're hiding in the dark, he will expose you. So God does let people hear people's thoughts. And guess what, Genesis? I'm one of them. He does let me hear people's thoughts. That's how I can know how people be moving right before they make a move on me. That's why God had let me know your motives. God was speaking to me the whole time when I was around you. I had to pretend like I was, dumb, because that's how you want people to be under your channel, dumb. But it was just only for a season, because God is getting ready to expose you. You don't have godly confidence. You have ignorant pride that's masquerading as confident, and you're bullying people that's masquerading as confidence.
You know what I'm saying? But the level of attack that I have been under, it's been excruciating. And it's been like this. I'm going to be honest. I was very green when I first started doing ministry. I was like, oh, people going to love me.
You still green. You know what, Genesis? I used to think that you were really getting persecuted, but you another fraud. You caused that persecution on yourself because of pride. You try to pretend in front of your followers that you knew what you was doing in the spiritual world until something really came to you and tested you. And God didn't test you. Your ignorance put you inside that den with them witches. You spiritually ignorant. You ignorant. You ignorant. You every word I can tell, every word I can pronounce it. You spiritually ignorant. You hear me? I have to just cut the video off. I'm going to make more videos after this, y'all. It's more parts going to be after this. But I want people to see on my side. When you try to puff yourself up thinking that you're more than what you are and trying to oppress people that's following you, what did I tell y'all a long time ago with Marcus Rogers? He does the same thing. God will embarrass you in front of your audience, which is your followers. She's still not being honest with y'all. She's still making up excuses why she failed at this mission. Her excuse is she weak and she a woman and she need a husband. Her other excuse was God blinded her and put her in the dens of witches so she didn't know they were witches and people in there wishing death on her. Her other excuse was her followers was the reason why she clapped back and got anger issues. Remember I did a live when I talk about signs of a spiritual abuser leader? She's one. She's not taking accountability. She's blame shifting everything else on everybody except for herself. This is what you get. You want everybody to feel sorry for you because some witches try to come kill you. This is what you get, trying to put on some panties that God didn't even give you that fits you. Trying to go in spiritual warfare, the stuff that you have no knowledge about. No true scriptures to really fight you back. You ain't even build up your stamina in God. Talking about you been on the ministry for 2 years. 2 years is not long enough to go in that spiritual warfare that you thought you could handle. The only thing that you were capable of handling is tickling their toes. That's all you did, tickle their toes and they tummy, them witches. While they were beating you down, for real, for real. Now walk your incompetent, non-spiritual behind up here and just tell your followers the truth that you were lacking wisdom. And them witches tore you up because of your pride and haughtiness, you liar. She's not taking no accountability. She's making up excuses. She blamed God, blamed her followers. Everybody's to blame but except her. She's not taking no accountability. And she will never will with your fake humility all on this doggone video. Telling people on your live that they playing crackhead games. You playing more than crackhead games. You playing meth head games. You playing ecstasy game. Yeah, you rolling on ecstasy for real, for real. You roll right into the witches' den and they whip your behind right in front of your audience. And you just too embarrassed to admit the truth. So I'll be back for the next video. You guys be blessed.